Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jonathan Mills Patrick and this is my series, What Investors Are Looking For. This is actually the third in the series. You've already missed two of them. If you'd like to keep track of each event and what the schedule is going to be, head on over to my website at jonathanmillspatrick.com/events, and there's a calendar there of each session that I'll be holding. I'm covering one topic per month and breaking that topic down by subject matter within it. So this month we're talking about what investors are looking for. So far we've talked about two big topics. The first one being investors are looking for a team to invest in, and how much of the decision that drives for them. And then secondly, a great idea that solves a problem is the second thing we talked about last week. Today I'd like to talk to you briefly about market size and market share. They kind of go hand in hand. One of my pet peeves is watching people present to investors like myself or others where they talk about all they need is 1% of market share. Well, to me that's a cop-out. That tells me that you are absolutely not really paying attention to doing your research and understanding how much market share you need to impress an investor. 1% of market share is just the easy answer. Don't take the easy answer when it comes to talking to investors. Do your research. It could be that your startup would be highly successful and therefore fundable if you had 0.5% of market share. So market size does drive what investors are interested in. If you have a market size that's maybe a few $100,000, that's all well and good. It could provide for you a very good lifestyle business, but it's probably not an investable business. On the flip side is a market that has a market size of billions upon billions of dollars doesn't necessarily mean that investors are going to be interested. It just means that well, there's potential customers. So market size is very important to investors, but it's not everything. What really matters to them is how much market share can you really peel away from the competitors that already exist in that market. So again, don't tell them 1% of market share is what you're after. Make sure you've done your research and that those numbers back into the financial projections that you're providing. So market size, market share, investors look at those things. They matter. They're not the top thing that they look at. Again, to reiterate, team is always the most important thing when it comes to what investors are looking for. It's usually 80% of the decision, and then an idea that solves a problem. When you're looking at market size, do your research. There are plenty of available tools out there to pull numbers of various markets. And then market share, one great way to gauge what you might be able to peel away of that market size is look at competitors in your space and get a sense for their market share. Sometimes even that information is public and they have even gone out and shared how much market share they have as it sits right now. Now oftentimes that's with public companies. They share that information, but use your predecessors, people that have gone before you, to gauge how much market share makes sense and make sure that that information backs into the financials that you're providing an investor. If you have too much or too little, it's usually not good. You want somewhere with a nice, perfect mix of market size and a reasonable market share that you can chase after. Now, one more note about market share. Make sure that the money that you're asking for from an investor will actually, that you can prove you can accomplish that type of market share with that amount of money. So for example, if you're only asking for $100,000 but you're saying you're going to go capture 50% of the market, that probably doesn't add up to most investors. The flip side, if you're asking millions upon millions upon millions of dollars and you claim that you're only going to go get 1% of market share, again, that just seems like a cop-out. It's too easy, and investors like for statistics. So do your research and make sure that you can justify the market size of the opportunity you're putting in front of an investor and the market share. So appreciate you spending a few moments with me. Again, these sessions are very brief, but if you'd like to join me in the future for future sessions, head on over to jonathanmillspatrick.com/events, and we'll be talking about this next week on Tuesday and Thursday. I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.